So the pre-fight press conference for UFC 316 just happened about maybe like half an hour ago, and I want to break it down. First and foremost, the press conference in itself, I would rank maybe above the middle, somewhere in the upper end of all of press conferences all time. It wasn't completely boring, but there weren't any explosive moments. But there were still entertaining moments. There were entertaining moments. Okay, there were with this fight. But by far the crowd kind of brought most of the entertainment, just because of their sheer hatred for one fighter or overwhelming love for another. If I had to choose who carried this press conference, I'm gonna have to say it's a two-way tie, and a lot of you might disagree with me, but I'm gonna say it's a two-way tie between Kayla Harrison and Patchy Mix. I'm gonna say it's a two-way tie. Okay, might even throw Pena in there. Not really sure. Kayla Harrison, she's just got this aura. I said it in my last video. She's got aura, man. But Patchy Mix said some really cool stuff, especially near the end of the press conference, saying about how he's here now, it's his division, that sort of stuff. I forgot what he said word for word, but it was pretty cool, especially because he said it at the end where, John Anik was supposed to take it away and like get everybody squared off, but Patchy Mix, just blurted out this statement and held everybody's attention with that statement despite the press conference, being over, because the main guy, which was John Anik, when he says, all right, it's time to end this, let's get to facing everybody off, that's when everything's supposed to end. But Patchy Mix, he took that time, he took that in-between moment of silence to put everybody on notice. So I appreciate Patchy Mix for that, and I look forward to seeing if he is the real deal. But again, the two people that carried this press conference, I would say, are Kayla Harrison and Patchy Mix. Merab and Sean O'Malley, they're okay in their own rights. Sean O'Malley has never really been much of a hype guy. He usually lets his actions or his clothing do the talking. Merab just speaks in broken English a lot. That's really it. You can't really understand him, to a degree where it's like, wow, he really said that. It's more so him screaming, being energetic, that sort of thing, which he was, but it just wasn't crazy, Other people were there. Vicente Luque was there. He said something, but he didn't have a lot of time to say a lot of stuff. Kevin Holland was there. He said something as well, but it wasn't outrageous. It was just more so like, oh, I'm going to beat Vicente. What happened in your fight against Joaquin Buckley, that sort of stuff, which is a good question to ask, because it looked like Vicente threw that fight, because all Buckley did was lay on top of him, and then it seemed like Vicente just submitted from there. But I don't know. Staying on the topic of the press conference, it was Joe Pyfer, Kelvin Gastelum also there. Joe Pyfer, I don't have much to say about him. Still looking to see what he can really do against like top competition. He apparently was fraud checked not too long ago, and the only reason why people would call it fraud, the only reason why people would call the loss that he suffered being a fraud checking is because he beat Francis Ngannou's power record for punching, and I guess that made him some like on the rise superstar or something like that. I don't know. Pyfer hasn't really like been extremely impressive in his previous fights, but there's still a chance to do so in the future. And again, Pena, Kayla Harrison, they had their moments. They were a bit nippy like midway through. Kayla Harrison, I feel like Kayla and Pena really went band for band, bar for bar in terms of trash talk. The reason why I would put Kayla Harrison over Pena is simply because of the crowd reaction. They just really got into it. Something that really surprised me from start to end with this press conference is the crowd reaction to Merab Dvalishvili and Sean O'Malley. They were really, really supportive of Sean O'Malley, and it confuses me because of the betting odds and how Sean O'Malley is an underdog. If the fans are being this supportive of Sean, I would have expected Sean to be a heavy favorite, because the crowd was screaming in positivity for Sean. And then when it was Merab's turn to speak, boos, disruption, all that. And I'm genuinely confused about that, especially considering the fact that Merab is being widely regarded as the bantamweight GOAT currently. So I don't know. Maybe that will change. Who really knows? I'm just surprised that people are really supportive of Sean. I get why people are really supportive of Kayla Harrison, especially the way Pena is. Juliana Pena is a great fighter, but there are times where she'll say a certain thing that just throws everybody off, or her demeanor may seem a bit pompous, things like that people just get thrown off by. I don't really get it. I don't dislike Pena. I don't dislike Kayla Harrison. I'm a fan of neither of them, but again, a title fight is a title fight, and it's worth covering regardless. Yeah, when considering everybody that showed up for the press conference, or like the top people in the main event, they all said their piece. Again, nothing crazy, no explosive moments like the moment between Diego Lopez and Yair Rodriguez not too long ago. But that is what it is. It is what it is sometimes. You get press conferences that are like that where nothing crazy happens. But still, it's nice to get one. It's nice to see what the fighters are thinking, coming up as the fight builds up, or as we get closer to the time they fight. It's cool to see whether they're nervous, whether they're excited, whether they're thinking about certain thing, whether they have bad blood with the other fighter. There's a lot of stuff that can be put on display in these moments, and I'm happy that the UFC gives the fans to delve into it. So yeah, overall, not the greatest press conference, not the worst. I would have it above the middle, between best and worst press conferences of all time. It's up there. It's not extremely up there. A crazy moment would have put it pretty much up there, but again, not totally boring. Still some pretty entertaining moments. And before I end this video, I forgot to touch on the Mario Bautista thing and the Patchy Mix, because they're fighting this weekend too. They were present, and like I said, Patchy Mix, that's why I have him and Kayla being neck and neck for most entertaining fighter in the press conference, because Patchy Mix was out there. He was saying stuff. He was speaking with his chest against Mario Bautista. I feel like Patchy had potential to really say a lot more, especially about Mario Bautista stalling against the cage like he did with Jose Aldo. I feel like he could have talked about Mario Bautista in the Jose Aldo fight and talked about how Mario Bautista basically disrespected Aldo by doing that and holding him against the cage and not allowing him to get his shot. I think Patchy Mix had a great opportunity to really win a lot of fans over with some really direct and powerful trash talk aimed at Mario Bautista. He did trash talk Mario, but I feel like it wasn't to the extent it could have been. And Mario said some stuff back. He did acknowledge the overwhelming boos that were obviously going to happen because nobody likes him because of how he handled the fight with Jose Aldo. Since then, Mario Bautista has been unapologetic about it. Who can blame him? He's got to fight his own fight, walk at his own pace, all that other stuff. I don't like him. I want him to lose. I want to see Patchy Mix whoop him, especially given how great Patchy Mix has been in other organizations. I look forward to seeing how it goes. I really, really hope Patchy Mix lives up to what everybody is, proclaiming him to be. At least certain people, not everybody. There are Mario Bautista supporters out there. And we'll see if they get, their happy moment this weekend, if Mario Bautista can pull out a win. I doubt it. I want Patchy Mix to win. I'm going to probably go the Patchy Mix knockout, but I'll save that for my full card prediction tomorrow that I will be posting on this channel by the end of the day tomorrow. Overall, let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. I love each and every one of you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow for my full card breakdown of UFC 316 that will be happening this Saturday, but I will be posting, like I said, I'll post the full breakdown tomorrow on Friday. So you guys will have my predictions, and if you want to bet, stuff like that. Overall, I love you guys. I'll see you for my breakdown tomorrow. Posted on this video by the end on this channel. I'll be posting it on this channel by the end of the day. So stay tuned for my complete breakdown of UFC 316, the entire card from the early prelims to the main event that will be posted by the end of the day tomorrow. I love each and every one of you guys, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Glove knowledge.